Ooh.
Post show. We got a few minutes of post show.
Winston, your horns.
Yeah.
Are
What
those
about
new
my horn?
horns?
Yes, they are. They're like squishy too, so it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Um,
Wishy
Hey,
new
Brian, you got
horns.
no story for us today?
I'm sorry. The
Come
uh
on,
the
man.
story the story that I had, the it, let's see. It involves some things that I don't know if it involves some things that may be that it would include a listener, possible listener of the podcast.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I would tell you, it's something that I thought about that I wouldn't want to say on air
right.
Okay.
if you know if
Yeah,
I hadn't got it cleared.
yeah.
So, but
No,
I will
but I
bet.
do. Have you guys? I do have a question. Have you guys ever like encounter like paranormal activities like here? God
I
forbid. I don't want it to happen to me, but like,
I think I talked last year about my great grandmother's house and the weird
Yeah.
story with the like woman
right?
with the mirror
Yeah,
up in the attic.
yeah.
But a lot of my toys, me and my brother's toys, were kept at the top of her stairs.
Mhm.
And
That just seems inherently creepy.
something about the top floor of her house.
It was just creepy, right?
It wasn't
Yeah.
used. She lived on the first floor, and both
Oh.
sides of what she owned a duplex.
Oh.
So
Okay.
she owned and lived in both sides of it. But the second floor, I mean, you got halfway up the stairs, and as a child, I'm like, there's something off. There's
Yeah.
something wrong up here.
Yeah.
And just, it was always a thing where it's like, I love to watch like ghost hunters and stuff growing up. And I'm just
Oh.
like, if I had like some EVP equipment or infrared cameras,
You
like
think?
that, I
Yeah.
would love to ghost hunt that house because there's something
and
there.
and
Something
I
there.
feel like because of like the area where you grew up in was also like so rural,
Mm.
I feel like there's definitely high chance of like, there being like a spirit or something for sure.
I'm
Because
sure there was a coal miner at some point in time that died in that
yeah,
house. I
but
mean,
I do agree, like, being as a kid and trying to go to like a top floor, there's just something scary about it. So like when I was in Vietnam, our house was like, because we don't have land like that, so we built our houses upward. So my old house, my parents' place, had 5 floor, counting like the terrace up top. So my parents live on the fourth floor, and my room was on the third floor. And so when my brother had bought me a PS3, my parents didn't want me to have it in my room, so they kept it in their room. So every time I want to play it, I
You
would
had to
have
go up
to
and get
like
it?
I would have to go to their room to play it. So they would be at work all day. And so like I had a PS2 in my room, so I just played the PS2 all day, but I'm like, damn, I kind of want to play, PS3 game. And so every around like 6 p.m. in Vietnam is when it gets like real like dark. And so like the even creepier part is like it was weird. So the house was long and it was straight up, right, or whatever. But it was like my parents' room was all the way at the end of the hall, right where the stair was. So if you go up the stair and make a left, that's where their room was. But on the right side is like our second living room, or upstairs living room, and that leads out to like my dad's like little like balcony garden that he has outside. So a lot of the time, like my dad would turn off the lights up there, so there would be no light, and the only light that I would be able to turn on would be like the one kind of by the stair from my room going upward, because it loops around. So there's like you've been in the hotel, like there's a random light kind of like as you're going up the stair. So like that's the one light, but that doesn't cover everything because there's a wall, right?
yeah.
So as I'm like creeping up like the stairs, the right side, a lot of time my dad would like scare the shit out of me because he would do this where he would open up these metal doors, because we had like these big like glass and metal door to kind of like close off the living room up there. So when it's like later in the afternoon and the winds are picking up, those freaking metal door would slam against each other loud as shit, and it would be super dark. And we had like freaking drapes that were like they weren't thick drapes, so when the winds are going in, the freaking drapes is going up and down, and you just hear metal clanging against each other.
It's like a
Oh
horror
my,
movie.
yeah, and it would scare the shit out of me. And there would be a light. There would be one or two single like red bulbs like off of that wall, because my grandparents' death altar was right there. So you just see this red light. You
Oh
see
man,
freaking
yeah, that's
it scared the shit out of me. So, and the worst part is my dad, they would lock their room when they leave the house because we had like people working at the house and they would like,
right.
take care of stuff. So my parents would lock their door and like they would, leave to go to work. So right outside my parents' room was like this giant stack of like newspaper. And my dad would always put the key in between the newspaper, and that's how you would like open the room. And so, like, as a kid, I know that's where it is. And he told me, like, if you want to go in the room, this is where the key is. And it's the one singular key, thank God, because if it was a freaking keychain, I would have, screamed. But like there have been time where I would try to go up and it's the same thing happening. I'm freaking out. I'm like 8, 9, I'm freaking that like I'm panicking and I'm like looking through the stack of newspaper and I can't fucking find the key because sometimes he'll put it in like too deep inside the newspaper that I can't find it. So like I'm just like fuck this. I don't care.
Don't
I'm
care.
not gonna be up here. I
Don't
just
need it.
ran back downstairs. So I just like, but that like creeped me the hell out as a kid. Like and it was like it's a safe house. Like we had like ceremony and stuff. We got everything checked out. Like it was a good house. It was a safe house. But like as a kid, it was just like it was just too much.
A weird
Um,
energy, huh?
yeah, and like my mom, God, my mom bought me a freaking nightlight as a kid, and she kind of puts it in like the corner near where my bathroom was, but it was a red light. So like imagine like as a kid you woke up in the middle of the night and you just open your eyes and it's all
Red
red.
light.
It's just so bad, man. But yeah,
Ugh.
anyway, I had a shitty experience as a kid. So like, yeah.
You ever been in a place you thought was haunted, Brian?
No.
Really?
No, yeah, it's weird.
Especially growing up in Indiana?
Yeah, no. That's because I'm a
Huh.
skeptic on everything. I'm like,
That's fair.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's fair. You don't think if you go to Savannah and you do the ghost tour, you wouldn't believe in it?
maybe that would change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm afraid of, man. Like I don't think like I don't think I could be paid to stay at night in like Savannah. It's just I don't know, man. It's creepy.
New Orleans
It's
is even older, man.
yeah. And dude, I drove through New Orleans one time for a vacation and we stopped at a casino at like 4 in the morning. And like in New Orleans is weird because you would pass like a ton of fields and there would just be a giant, lit up casino in like the distance. It was so weird. But yeah, it freaked me out as a kid. So
All right, man. I
um
gotta run. I gotta eat something.
it's all good. I'm hungry as hell too, so I gotta get out of
All
here.
right,
All
man.
right.
See you guys.
All right.
See
See you
everyone
guys.
later.
Bye.